Justin. Welcome to live Ask Me Anything number 20. Okay, I had to creep in on the screen because I'm all by myself. All by myself in the office. It's scary in here. I need to make sure this is working because I had some trouble when I did this from my house last week. So I'm gonna go on facebook.com/theclovisculture where you guys are, where this lives, and I'm gonna hit the refresh button. I want to make sure there's a live video there to make sure I'm not talking to myself, because that would be incredibly awkward. Hold on, timeline's loading. Let's just make sure. I see myself. Guys, I see myself. We're good. I was really nervous. My heart's actually beating really fast. I was really nervous. Okay, hold on. Click. Okay. Here we go. We're live. Okay, I got it. Awesome. So, I'm also going to keep an eye on this feed because last week, the Facebook feed died in the middle and I talked to myself for like 5 minutes. My dog was there. He probably got some good information, but it was pretty awkward. So I came back after about 5 minutes and split into 2 videos. We haven't put that blog post up yet. Blah, 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 blah. Here I am, live, Ask Me Anything, number 20. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. I can see myself. That's perfect. I got some notes. This is gonna be a fantastic episode. Live, Ask Me Anything. For those of you that don't know, what the heck is an AMA? An AMA is an Ask Me Anything, that term that I keep using. Basically, I take questions from all of our social media networks and all of our private groups. We have 2 private groups right now. We have a membership-only platform that comes with a sister Facebook group. That's called Clovis Kids. We have whole families in there. It's like 60-plus families and over 100 kids now. It's crazy, right? Then we have the Clovis Academy. Well over 750 members. The Clovis Academy is a free private group that you can join, facebook.com/groups/Clovis Academy. You can join that one for free and be part of the discussion, part of the conversation. That's where I pull most of these questions from. And that's where the questions for today are coming from, our topic for today, okay? There's a lot of really exciting stuff happening within Clovis Kids. A ton of new content is going to be released there. Be patient. I know it's taken a long time, but we have to be really, really careful with this kid stuff because there are so many different age groups involved and we have to tailor the content, and it's basically triple the work of making content for adults because we've separated it into 3 different age groups, okay? That's Clovis Kids, exciting stuff happening. Exciting stuff happening with Clovis as well, including a new launch. We are launching something tonight, so you want to stay all the way to the end and learn about what we are launching because it's pretty freaking cool. We've been working on it round the clock, and I'm super excited about it. So, live Ask Me Anything number 20. What is tonight's topic about? This is kind of a controversial topic, okay? The topic, the title, I guess, is Stop Telling Your Kid to Eat Vegetables. That's right. I said it. I meant it. I'm here to represent it. Stop telling your kid to eat vegetables. So you probably heard me say that, and your jaw hit the floor, and you stopped whatever you were doing to look at the screen and be like, what the heck? Justin is the paleo dude. He loves vegetables. Truth is, I love meats, and I love vegetables. And I'm constantly telling people to eat vegetables. So what the heck am I talking about? Like, I must be joking, right? But no, I need you to pay close attention to tonight's episode because, like all other AMAs, details matter. Details are important, and tonight you're gonna get a boatload of details. I can't just make a controversial claim like that and not back it up. So you're gonna get a lot of details, you're gonna get a bit of science, and you're gonna get some really, really shocking statistics. So in the past, I've taught you a lot about macronutrients. That's like the staple of your Clovis custom nutrition plan, if you have one, is your custom macronutrients. Talk about macronutrients all the time, but nobody ever talks about micronutrients. So tonight, we're gonna talk about micronutrients. We're gonna talk about the obstacles we face as Americans and why we're not getting nearly enough micronutrients, and the statistics here are gonna blow your mind. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna teach you how human beings are durable enough to survive on almost any diet on the planet, except for one. Just one diet that kills everybody, right? We're gonna talk about that. And I'm also gonna make things way easier for you if you have kids. We're gonna talk about getting adequate micronutrient intake for your kids, okay? So I just thought about this. I'm gonna look real quick and make sure that you guys can hear me and everything. Okay, let's see. Oops. All right, just so I know, so I can feel good about this, can you guys hear me and everything? Is audio good? Let's do a quick check. I'm gonna check with you guys on the audio situation. Somebody out there, if you can hear me, tell me you can hear me. Hi, Cambria. There's some waves, that's cool. Nobody has said anything crazy like, we can't hear anything, so everything looks and sounds good. Beautiful. Okay, awesome. Thank you. So, let me get back to my notes here so we can dive into this thing. The other thing I just want to say is whenever we do these AMAs, just try your best to get somewhere quiet so that you can really soak this in, because this is super important stuff, right? So just make sure you're not going to get distracted. Turn off all the crazy notifications. We all have notifications going all the time, 100% of the time now, right? It's a little ridiculous. So just make sure you're in a position where you can listen to this information. It's super important. Also, for those of you that don't know me, those in the academy, you guys know me, Clovis kids, you know me. Those of you that don't know me, if this is your first Ask Me Anything video, my name is Justin Nault. I am the founder of Clovis. I invented a line of nutritional products called the Perfect Paleo Powder. I was actually the first ever certified paleo-friendly protein powder in the world, and I made it in my kitchen. Ballin'. I'd do that. Anyway, also, I am a certified nutritional therapist. I am a certified specialist in sports nutrition, and I transform people's lives. I am in the business of transformation. It's what I do. 50 pounds in 6 weeks, 20 pounds in 4 weeks, 40 pounds in 60 days. Whatever you're looking for, we have a transformation story. If you go into the Clovis Academy, you can check out those transformation stories and learn what I do. Now that you know a little bit about me, let's dive in. Stop telling your kid to eat vegetables, okay? Very strange topic here. I'm just moving this around so I can see everything. This is crazy. I'm just trying to keep an eye on this so it doesn't die without me knowing. Okay, I can still see myself. Perfect. So, stop telling the kids to eat vegetables. I'm dead serious in this, but I'm going to expand on the title of the video. So, stop telling your kid to eat vegetables unless, this is where details come in, this matters. Stop telling your kid to eat vegetables unless you know why. Why do they have to eat vegetables? Why do your kids have to eat vegetables? Somebody tell me. Right? It's one of those kind of smug moments I had. Sorry about that. But most parents are telling their kids to eat vegetables and they don't know why they should eat them in the first place, okay? So stop telling your kid to eat vegetables unless you know why. Spoiler alert, if you watch this video, you're gonna know why. Okay, stop telling your kid to eat vegetables unless they want to. Stop telling your kids to eat vegetables unless they want to. Okay? Because if they don't want to, if it's not their choice, good luck. It's probably not going to happen. Okay? Making kids eat vegetables is one of the worst parts about being a parent throughout all of history. I get it constantly. People are like, they won't eat vegetables. They won't eat what I tell them to, right? All the time, people are dealing with these vegetable issues. Now, when I say all the time, I'm talking about maybe the last 100 years. The amount of time that we've been confused enough to feed our kids a diet of like 100% sugar and then expect them to eat vegetables at the dinner table at night, right? It's crazy. We did it to ourselves. It's America's fault. It's the food pyramid's fault. We're going to get into all that. Let's examine a few of the typical parenting approaches, right? No dessert unless you eat your vegetables. Can't leave the table unless you eat your vegetables. No video games until you eat your vegetables. If you take just 2 more bites, I'll give you $1. If you take 1 more bite, I'll let you leave the table, right? It's all lunacy. We're training kids to absolutely hate vegetables. Vegetables are associated with punishment 90% of the time, okay? Now, if I was at your kitchen table with you and I witnessed this going on, I'm going to turn to the parents and I'm going to say, please, tell me why this poor child must eat their vegetables. Please tell me why. This is when the mama is going to give me a look of death, like she hates my guts, but she's still not going to have a good answer, okay? And that's where our old friend, because I said so, comes in. We've talked about this a lot in Clovis Kids, where because I said so can really never be an answer. You have to respect your kids, right? You can't treat them like they're dummies, okay? So when we hear that term, because I said so is code. It's code for, I don't know. But you don't want to say that to your kid. We talked about this in one of the AMAs, how to set your kid free in 30 days. We talked about how I don't know is basically admitting you're wrong, admitting you're not a superhero, admitting that you don't have all the answers, right? So I'm going to try to give you the answers so you can do this a little bit better. Now, here's the issue. 40 plus years or so, if you would have told your kid, eat your vegetables 40, 50 years ago, the parents that were telling their kids eat their vegetables, they were really onto something. Okay? They were giving their kids really good advice. In 2018, not so much. 2018 in America, not so much, especially, right? It's really, really tricky. So I'm gonna do a quick comment check. I'm gonna see how you guys are looking, if this is making sense, make sure the sound and everything is good. Let's see what we got here. Vitamins. Cambria, you're onto something. You've done good. Yes, we're going to talk about vitamins. But, again, blanket answer. What do vitamins do for you? Yeah, see that? We're going to get into it, okay? So, comment checks looks good. We got a few people in here. Live, that's good. The more live, the better. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This thing scrolls down every time I check on you guys. That's really frustrating. Okay, so let's jump into beliefs, right? On these AMAs, I like to tackle beliefs, belief systems. So when we tackle beliefs, it's because oftentimes we have these belief systems and we don't know why we have them. So one of those would be, we need to eat vegetables. Do we really though? Do we really need to eat vegetables? I mean, really just stop and think for a moment. Do you know the answer to that question? Do we need to eat vegetables? So why exactly should we be eating vegetables? So if I get rid of this, I'm going to tell you exactly why we need to eat vegetables. Because we do need to eat vegetables, okay? Despite the title of this video, but we're going to get into why it's actually not a necessity, but we should, okay? Cambria just said vitamins in the comments, right? So what we're talking about tonight is micronutrients. If you spend any amount of time in Clovis Academy or Clovis social media or anything like that, you know macronutrients, okay? Macronutrients are one of the two major types of nutrients. You have macronutrients and you have micronutrients. So macro, meaning large, these are nutrients required by the body in relatively high quantities. These are usually measured in grams. Then you have micronutrients, still required by the body. They're considered essential. You can die without them, but they're required in smaller amounts. They're called micro, meaning smaller, usually required 100 milligrams or less per day for survival will get you put in the category of micronutrients, okay? So micronutrients are thought of as small, and they are measured in milligrams, micrograms, and then for some of the fat-soluble vitamins, you've probably seen IU, like vitamin D, IU. So they're measured in different ways. These are your micronutrients. We constantly talk about macros. Now we're going to talk about micronutrients. So a lot of people just parrot these kind of cliche terms because they think they're supposed to because of mainstream nutrition. They come into the academy and they're like, Justin, I got my plan. What supplements do I need to take, right? Well, why do we need supplements? Again, why? Why are we getting these supplements? Why do we need them? So what's the biological function of these supplements? It's to get more micronutrients. The goal of supplementing is to get more micronutrient intake. So micronutrients should be thought of as nature's pharmaceuticals. They're basically nature's pharmaceutical drugs. That's how powerful these things are, okay? So you have your macronutrients of fat, protein, carbohydrates, then you have your micronutrients. These are also, they're considered vitamins and minerals. Now there's more than just that, right? There's vitamins and there's minerals. Vitamins being, water-soluble vitamins like C and B, then you have fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, right? Then you have your minerals, like we always talk about sodium, right? Sodium and potassium. These are minerals, but they're also electrolytes. They're minerals that serve an electrolyte function, right? They actually balance the water levels in your body. They regulate your body's water levels even more than water regulates its water levels, right? Electrolytes are everything for your hydration. So the C and D vitamins are your water-soluble, E, D, E, and K are fat-soluble, and C also acts as an antioxidant, right? So there are certain vitamins that have antioxidant properties. It's craziness, guys. I mean, I could sit here forever and just show you all the craziness of micronutrients. Then later we're going to talk about phytonutrients. So there's about 13 essential micronutrients, right? Vitamins and minerals. And then there are thousands of phytonutrients. These are compounds found in plants. We're going to talk about those too, okay? Now, the issue is, throughout all of human history, we've gotten all these things from our diet because nature has these micronutrients in plentiful amounts. They're fantastic, right? Nature has these. The issue is, our grocery stores don't, okay? That's the tricky part. So hunter-gatherers' diets were loaded with these things. They were getting all these micronutrients. By the way, hunter-gatherers also didn't have Kroger with fruit year-round, whether it's in season or not, these frankenfruits and stuff, okay? Micronutrients are critical to human health, but they're really not present in our local grocery stores. So let me tell you a story. This is very important. How many times have you heard me talk about fruit, right? But yet, the fruit debate will not die. People argue with me to this day that fruit is a health food. Their hearts are in the right place, okay? Food Pyramid says fruits and vegetables and combines them, which is the stupidest shit ever. But people think that fruit is a health food. Fruit was a health food, okay? In other parts of the planet, fruit still is a health food. In America, fruit ain't no health food, okay? You need to know that. It's not a health food, and I'm gonna walk you through why. Fruit was a health food and can be a health food again if you wanna move to a foreign country, okay? So let's hit a cliche term. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. I have to smile at this because it's so much fun for me. This is so much fun for me, okay? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Let's look at one fun fact. My very first AMA number 1, which was controversial and people got pissed at me about it. AMA number 1 was titled, "Fruit Will Kill You Faster Than Red Meat," where I argued that the sugar content of fruit is more dangerous for heart disease than red meat is, because we all know there's no correlation between high quality, correctly sourced red meat and heart disease. There's just no correlation, right? There is a correlation between sugar and heart disease, and there's a ton of fructose in fruit, which is sugar. So I argued that fruit was worse for your cholesterol and heart disease than red meat. Well, guess what? I have the science for you tonight, okay? In 2009, they did a study of the Golden Delicious apple. Why? Because the Golden Delicious apple is the number 1 most consumed, most popular apple on the planet. People eat more Golden Delicious apples than any other apple, right? So in 2009, they tested an apple a day keeps the doctor away. They had subjects of this study change nothing in their diets except adding 1 Golden Delicious apple per day. Would you like to know the results? Okay. They ate 1 Golden Delicious apple per day. I'm going to tell you what happened. Triglycerides, so this is a cholesterol panel, right? Based on 1 Golden Delicious apple a day. Triglycerides went up. VLDL, these are the most dangerous cholesterol particles in the human body. They are the most directly tied to heart disease. So 1 Golden Delicious apple a day. Triglycerides went up. VLDL went up. What? The 2 most dangerous cholesterol factors for overall risk of heart disease both went up significantly by eating 1 apple a day. Okay? Can we put this issue to rest? Like, please. Now I'm going to tell you why. Because fructose is the most lipogenic sugar on planet Earth. Lipogenic meaning new fat. Literally, the creation of new fat. Lipogenesis in the body is the creation of new fats. Fructose, more than any other sugar, is the most readily converted into stored body fat. That's why this issue is happening. That stored body fat, it's VLDL, right? So your triglycerides go up, your VLDL goes up, it's created in the liver, pushed out into the bloodstream. This VLDL clogs your arteries, boom, fruit will kill you faster than red meat. Scientific data. Any questions? We can keep talking about this, okay? So the issue is, why is fruit so bad? Because the fruit we have today is not actually fruit. These Golden Delicious apples, you would never find them in nature. It's just like bananas. I told you, the yellow bananas you see in a grocery store don't exist in nature. They don't even have seeds. They can't reproduce. They can't live without human intervention. This is not fruit. It's frankenfruit. We're buying frankenfruit, okay? It's created in the lab. Golden Delicious apples were created in a lab, bred to be big, giant, have more sugar, less fiber, and be more delicious and last longer on a shelf, right? They're bred, they're all GMO. Somewhere down the line, even if it says non-GMO, somewhere down the line, that apple you're buying was bred to be a certain way to go into this grocery store, right? Now, this is true of our entire produce department, unfortunately. Fruits, vegetables, even our animals are bred, like grain-fed feedlot, chickens and cows and everything. We screw up everything. It's It's ridiculous, right? So they have far less micronutrients. If you're turning to fruit for micronutrients, you really shouldn't. It's ridiculous. And I'm gonna talk about that right now. Micronutrients are the only reason that we're eating produce, fruit and vegetables to begin with, is to get micronutrients, right? And we're not getting them. So why are we eating them? It's like eating empty calories or eating empty macros, right? Like drinking a beer. You're not getting any nutrient density from a beer, but you're getting a whole bunch of carbs and a whole bunch of calories, right? It's stupid, okay? So how bad is it really? Let's take a look at the same golden delicious apple, okay? So like I said, we're gonna talk about something called phytonutrients. Phytonutrients are categorized as micronutrients, but there are thousands of them. They're just these chemical compounds found in plants that are still categorized as micronutrients that serve a biological and beneficial function in the human body. They're incredible. If you ever look into Ayurvedic medicine or Ayurvedic diets or anything like that, they focus on nutrient density and these phytonutrients, okay, like herbs and spices, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So let's take that same golden delicious apple, okay? We're gonna take the same golden delicious apple and compare it to a wild apple found in nature. A particular apple, the most nutrient-dense apple found in nature, is in Nepal, okay? So if we take that wild apple and we take the golden delicious apple and we compare the phytonutrients in these apples, okay? So this is a one-to-one comparison. I just want you to understand this. This is a one-to-one comparison. We have a golden delicious apple versus a wild apple, okay? Golden delicious, wild apple. We compare the phytonutrient levels in these two apples. One apple versus one apple. Golden delicious versus wild apple. Now you may have already guessed that the wild apple has more phytonutrients than the golden delicious. The question is, how much more phytonutrients are contained in the wild apple? One-to-one comparison. Hold on, I need to hide this from you. This is hilarious, okay? I'm gonna go over here, I'll write this number. That says 47,500%. Not a typo, not a mistake, guys. If you know me from the academy, I pay attention to details, right? 47,500% more phytonutrients found in a wild apple than found in a golden delicious, comparatively. Guys, can we put this to bed? Can we put the fruit thing to bed, okay? It's ridiculous. So, you would have to eat 475 golden delicious apples to equal one wild apple. You'd have to eat 475 golden delicious apples to get the phytonutrients contained in one apple. By the way, while you eat those 475 wild apples, you're also consuming well over 8,000 grams of sugar. 8,000 grams of sugar must be consumed via grocery store golden delicious apples, the most popular apple on the planet, to get the phytonutrients in one wild apple. I could punch this board right now. It's like, guys, I drank way too much coffee today. I don't know if you know this. I've been working in this office all day with Josh, and I drank a boatload of coffee. So, if you want to debate me on fruit, we can do it. I really enjoy it. It's super fun for me, okay? Now, there are countless factors to why this is happening. Soil depletion, farming practices, all the prairies in America have been just decimated, pesticides, GMOs, etc., okay? Now, again, this example carries over to all the produce in our typical grocery stores, even animal products. Animals are fatter than ever with less nutrients than ever, okay? It's really, really terrible. This is why, because of commonplace food production in America, the vast majorities of Americans are eating too much food and ridiculously malnourished. That's because their foods don't contain nutrient density. They're not choosing nutrient-dense foods, okay? Meaning they eat plenty of food, it just doesn't contain any damn nutrients. Okay, so now that I've hit you with this ridiculous wild apple scenario, let me look at some of the comments. What do you guys think? Let's see. If you grow the fruit yourself, depends. What's your soil like? It's all about the soil. The soil is the number one most primary thing. You're way better off growing the fruit in your own backyard, 100%. But understand, it still contains sugar. Even wild apples contain sugar. Now, if you're getting this level of phytonutrients per one apple, a serving of fruit a day is a great idea. But if you're not, you're getting 475 times less, it's not worth the sugar intake, okay? Is there any safe amount of fruit? Okay, again, details matter, right? If you're walking in your local grocery store and you're just picking up a non-organic, non-locally sourced apple, I wouldn't put it in your mouth. I wouldn't. Honestly, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. If you can go to a farmer's market and get fresh, in-season, locally sourced, organic apples, and you want to give your kid an apple, you want to have an apple a day, go for it. It's all about the sourcing. What you find in the grocery store is nonsense, okay? You guys are nerding out. Awesome. I've lived 55 years without green beans. Awesome. Because broccoli is yummy. Yes, it is. It's wonderful. Fiber. Okay, people say fruit and fiber, right? Nah, look it up, okay? There's an ebook I'm about to release, a general fat loss ebook for those of you that don't have custom macros. We'll talk about that. But I once did a comparison. It's on our Instagram too. A comparison of broccoli, 100 grams of broccoli versus 100 grams of bananas. There's almost no fiber in fruit. It's ridiculous. People say it's a fiber-containing thing, but it's really not, like I said, because all these things are they're bred to have more fructose, so by definition they have to have less fiber, unfortunately. Okay, so comments look good. Let's move on here. This thing keeps scrolling down on me. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so we talked about eating vegetables, we talked about an apple a day, talked about how bad it is. So let's talk about how we get micronutrients in 2018. If you know me, you may have seen there's a video online of me swallowing 27 pills at once, and that's just my morning pills, okay? So you can see where I get micronutrients from. It's from supplementation. But let's look back. Now, in the 1950s, that's not very long ago, right, in the grand scheme of things. In the 50s, people were eating vegetables and a serving or two of fruit a day, and they were getting their micronutrients, right? They were getting a boatload of micronutrients. That's not happening today because of all the things we talked about, the soil depletion, the death of the American prairie, blah, 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 blah. Now, it's so bad that over 2 billion people in 2018, well over 2 billion people worldwide are suffering from micronutrient deficiencies. Micronutrient deficiencies, okay? So if we look at deficiency, I just want to do these two definitions for you, this is important. Micronutrient deficiency basically equals death. Like your risk of infection goes through the roof, your risk of severe disease goes through the roof, your risk of long-term problems like cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia, they all go through the roof. And over 2 billion people worldwide are suffering from this, okay? Chronic, meaning long-term, micronutrient deficiency is enough to kill you. And those at the highest risk of deficiency are pregnant women and kids. Kids that are under 5. Highest risk. Pregnant women and kids under 5 years old are at the highest risk of micronutrient deficiency, okay? It's insane. Now, another thing we have, and I always spell this wrong, so don't make fun of me. Inadequacy. There we go. Micronutrient inadequacies, okay? So micronutrient inadequacies are much, much more common. If we have 2 billion people with deficiencies, honestly, we can't even understand how many people have inadequacies. So an inadequacy means you have more than deficiency levels, but you have less than the required RDA, right? Okay? So you have less than the required RDA, but you have more than deficiency level. So now you're considered to have a micronutrient inadequacy, okay? Inadequacies are ridiculous, and they've gone up and up and up and up significantly because of our old friend, the food pyramid, okay? And this is why. Now the funny thing is, you and I know, because we've been part of Clovis, that vegetables and fruits are carbohydrates. So somehow, this entire bottom section of the food section is it's just grains and sugar. They're the least nutrient-dense foods on planet Earth, okay? White sugar, white flour are the single least nutrient-dense foods on planet Earth, and they make up over 60% of the American diet. It's ridiculous. Your ancestors didn't even have access to simple sugars and grains as little as 200 years ago. That's how new these frankenfoods are. These ridiculous frankenfoods. Simple carbohydrates make up over 60% of the American diet, and they have no nutrient density at all. So you have overfed, malnourished Americans. That's what we're dealing with, okay? It's ridiculous. So with these inadequacies, they've gotten so severe that here's where we're at. I don't know how to, I hope you guys got this, okay? Because I need to erase this real quick because I need room to keep writing stuff. So I just want to explain to you guys this inadequacy situation because of the food pyramid. What has our big, great, grand food pyramid diet experiment done in the last 40 years? Right now, how many Americans are not getting enough vitamins? Now, I wrote these statistics down because they're staggering, okay? How many Americans are not getting enough vitamin D? 94%. How many Americans are not getting enough vitamin E? 88%. How many Americans are not getting enough magnesium? 55%. I'm going to keep going. Why not? How many people are not getting enough calcium? 44%. How many people are not getting enough vitamin A? 43%. Vitamin C, 39%. And I'm going to add this one just for fun because it's an electrolyte, right? And I always talk about electrolytes. I always talk about them, right? Potassium. It is estimated that in America, 100% of people are not getting the RDA for these vitamins, for potassium. 100%. This is crazy, guys. Without all of these, you die. Like you actually die, okay? Now, the thing about it is, we're talking about micronutrient inadequacies, and I just want you to understand that a deficiency can kill you for sure, but an inadequacy will sneak up on you, okay? So an inadequacy will slowly creep up on you over time, and all of a sudden, your memory starts to slip. Your cognitive performance is suffering. You're having trouble concentrating and learning. You're getting sick more. Your immune system starts to suck. General fatigue. It's a little harder to get out of bed in the morning. Your learning skills suffer. And then long term, oh my God, I had cancer. Oh my God, I had the early stages of heart disease. Oh my God, I have metabolic syndrome. I'm insulin resistant. I'm on the doorstep of type 2 diabetes, right? That's what this is. That's what these inadequacies do. Micronutrient inadequacies sneak up on you. So let's think about it like this, okay? If you think about inadequacies, like your car, okay? Let's look at a car. I'm gonna draw a car. Why not? I can't draw, guys. This is gonna be awesome. This is the greatest and best car ever drawn, okay? I want this car. If you have a car, right, you know that you need to stay up to date on maintenance, okay? So if you think of maintenance, I want you to think of maintenance, I'm just making sure I'm still here, I'm still alive, okay? If you think of maintenance, you have to think of maintenance as micronutrients, okay? So if your body is the car, then micros are the maintenance. What I mean by this is if you completely ignore maintenance on your automobile, the car will still run for a while. Okay? Micronutrient inadequacies. If you don't give your body micronutrients, you'll still live for a while, and your health won't be optimal. The performance of this car is not going to be optimal without maintenance, right? So think of it like changing spark plugs, your oil, change your windshield wipers, inflate the tires, rotate the tires, change your transmission fluid, right? These are all micronutrients. If you don't do these micronutrient activities, the maintenance on your body, your car will eventually stop running, your car will eventually fail, your body will eventually give up and die. Okay? That's what happens, and it sneaks up on you. So all these things sneak up on you, okay? So I just realized I talked about RDA. We glanced over RDA. So let's talk about this. So RDA is actually an obsolete term. They don't use it anymore. They use DRI, I believe. I think I have it written down here. But recommended daily allowance is what people generally understand. That's the recommended daily allowance for these micronutrients, okay? When you see on a label, vitamin C, 50%, that's 50% of your RDA, your recommended daily allowance. So I want to tell you a story about vitamin C. So from the year 1500 to 1700, 2 million sailors died on ships. And they died of something called scurvy, which makes it the most dangerous job in human history, the most deaths on one. It's the single worst occupational hazard that has ever existed throughout all of human history. 2 million sailors died in the span of 200 years, okay? That was because of something called scurvy. So once the captains started dosing their sailors with lemon juice, this stopped. Why? They didn't know this at the time. Vitamin C. This is where vitamin C comes into play. So the reason why I tell you this story is because the RDA is simply enough to prevent disease. This doesn't mean that it's optimal by any means, okay? It's simply there to prevent disease. That doesn't mean you're gonna, it's literally the bare minimum, okay? So RDA is now called DRI for dietary reference intake, but everybody knows RDA because it's been around for decades, so we'll just call it RDA, they're interchangeable, right? They're not meant for optimal human health and performance. So I'm gonna write these terms down for you because when I was studying, where'd my race go? When I was training as a specialist in sports nutrition, we went over these things. So we had the RDA, right? We learned about the RDA, which is nonsense. It's just to prevent you from getting diseases, okay? Then we talked about the ODA. That is the optimal daily allowance. This is for much better health, to make sure you don't get disease and you benefit from these. Generally speaking, this is more than 2x, the RDA, okay? More than 2x. ODA, still not enough, okay? We learned about something called performance daily intakes. If you're a guy like me, I do some form of physical activity every day. Jiu-jitsu, boxing, powerlifting, whatever it may be, right? Yoga, I'm practicing handstands lately, whatever the hell, I just love to move my body, right? So I need PDI, hence the 50 plus pills a day I take. PDI is the performance daily intake, okay? Performance daily intakes easily start at around 10x the RDA. That's where they start. So let me give you a couple numbers. If you're a 19-year-old male, right, the RDA for vitamin C is 90 milligrams. Now, the PDI, okay, for a 19-year-old male, 90 milligrams. The PDI for vitamin C, 3,000 milligrams. That's more than 33 times the RDA. Literally, 33x the RDA. For vitamin D, it's even worse. Vitamin D, the RDA, is 15 IU. Now the PDI is as high as 1,000 IU. That's 66 times more, everybody. 66 times more. And guess what? If you have an injury or you're recovering from an illness, these numbers jump even higher. Your body needs even more than them. So this is why you would say, my kids need to eat vegetables, right? We need to get these micronutrients in our kids, right? And you absolutely do. You absolutely do. But the issue is we're dealing with this grocery store situation. This is why I take over 50 pills a day, okay? Maybe it's crazy. Some people think I'm crazy. I think I'm a little crazy. And I'm actually trying to figure out ways to work this in, like doing things like liver capsules, like desiccated liver capsules. Because liver, if you want vitamin A, liver is hands down the best organ meat, the best food you can get on planet Earth, right? So if I can take a desiccated liver capsule, I might not have to take vitamin A pills or vitamin A liquid or whatever. So I'm trying to wean these things down, and I'm always trying to figure out how to optimize these things, okay? This is why the idea of if it fits your macros is horseshit, right? You might see there's a company called If It Fits Your Macros, and you'll see CrossFitters online arguing about this all the time. It doesn't matter if I get my carbs from Pop-Tarts or if I get them from broccoli. As long as it fits my macros, I'm gonna have six-pack abs, right? You're killing yourself. You're literally killing yourself because there's no nutrient density whatsoever. It's ridiculous. If you hit your macros using nothing but Pop-Tarts and canola oil, you're killing yourself. Literally. You have systemic inflammation. It's ridiculous. Your insulin levels spiking through the roof, glucose through the roof, your hormones are going to be jacked. Your future is not going to look bright. Yet people still love to debate with me because I'm the Clovis guy and I have videos. They like to debate with me on calories are equal, macros are equal. Doesn't matter where you get it. It's ridiculous, guys. It's absolute nonsense. Don't let people tell you that stuff, okay? So, I've said to you over and over and over in Clovis, this is all tricky as hell, right? There's a reason why I went back to school twice. There's a reason why I put thousands and thousands of hours into this research. I've done the work for you. That's what Clovis is. I don't say that a lot, guys. Like, I just like to just give. I like to give you guys stuff, right? But that's really what's happening here. When you watch these videos, I've put this time in. I've done this for you, okay? I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. There's a reason why my protocol doesn't just give you custom macros. I want to talk to you about that. There's a reason why the protocol comes with custom macros and an approved foods list. If you sign up for something like If It Fits Your Macros, they're going to go, here are your macros, go hit them. I make you hit those custom macros with the approved foods list. Why? Because the approved foods list, I have hand selected these items to be the most nutrient dense, foods on planet Earth, right? Now granted, I'm not going to tell you to shove a bunch of liver down your gullet or beef heart or beef tongue or things like that because I'm trying to get compliance to work, okay? So I do have to play the game between getting you to comply with my crazy ideas and getting you the best results and making sure you enjoy the protocol. So it's not like, hey, eat a ton of liver. If you want to eat a ton of liver, go for it. You'll be the healthiest person in the Clovis Academy, guaranteed, okay? So I'm trying to walk that fine line. But this is also why I created the Perfect Paleo Powder. And it's going to sound like I'm tooting my own horn here, and I don't care because I never do it, okay? I created this in my kitchen for a reason. So if you get beef collagen peptides from whatever other company, congratulations. You get 10 grams of protein. That's it. 10 grams of protein. That's why all my formulas have 20 plus whole food ingredients. You have fruits, vegetables, that's right, there's even fruit powders in there, guys, because you get some of the vitamins and minerals without the glucose, without the fructose, without the nonsense, okay? There's probiotics, there's prebiotics, there's healthy complex carbohydrates, there's dietary fats, there's a boatload of protein, right? It works like a meal in your body. Guys, I've done the work for you. The approved foods list, the custom macronutrients, the products, the Perfect Paleo Powder, they're ridiculously nutrient dense. Just for the heck of it, granted it's RDA, they go by the RDA as well, but you have 50% of all your B vitamins, you have electrolytes, you have vitamin C, you have glutamine, you have turmeric. These contain the phytonutrients I told you about. Turmeric is one of the most phytonutrient dense foods on planet Earth, and I give you 3 to 3.5 grams of it in the Perfect Paleo Powder. That's why this stuff exists, guys. I've been down this road for years, okay? And you guys keep asking me for science. So that's why I'm trying to explore with some of these AMAs, getting a little bit deeper into science, okay? So this is also why I offer custom supplement recommendations as part of the custom nutrition plan, okay? So I've done all this work for you. I have my favorite supplements listed out. I have the Perfect Paleo Powder. If I don't think the Perfect Paleo Powder is enough for you, I'm going to talk to you about multivitamins and omega-3s and phytonutrients out the wazoo, right? I'm going to give you those personal recommendations. That's all part of the custom macronutrient plan for those of you who have bought it, okay? So let's take a little break. Laura, I love science too. You're awesome. I still want to swing kettlebells with you. Tabitha, you love liver. That's awesome. For some, I don't love liver. I really don't. I've cooked it in like just about every way you can imagine. So if anybody has a good liver recipe, let me know. US Wellness Meats are friends of mine. They have grass-fed liver that they'll deliver to your door. It's freaking awesome. It's like the best liver I've ever had. They have multiple products. I just can't find a way to cook it that I like. It's got that iron, that super iron aftertaste. I've tried to fry it in cassava oil and avocado oil and coconut oil and all these things. I just don't love it. But really, 2 to 4 ounces a couple times a week will cover your vitamin A needs for the entire week. It's crazy. Captain Cook recommended food in barrels and his crews never said. Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's fantastic, Shannon. It's a great story. Yeah, potassium depends. Potassium is found in a whole bunch of vegetables. So here's what you guys should do right now, just for fun. Just Google nutrient-dense foods, or like most nutrient-dense foods. Okay, just do that and check out like things like broccoli or cauliflower or asparagus or wild-caught fish or beef, right? You can get potassium in all these foods. Potassium's in a boatload of stuff. You see, look, I believe liver is really high in potassium too. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong on that. It may be. So I can answer that question back. I don't know off the top of my head. Okay, what else we got? Kids, yes, kids. We gotta talk about kids and micronutrients, Jackie. I'm really sorry. But your kids are getting a boatload of micronutrients because they drink Digest and Rest Paleo Powder. This is frozen because it's an infographic. Drink your paleo powder, kids. We just did an infomercial. I'm really sorry about that. Okay, so we checked out some comments. Kale, yes, kale's high in potassium. Ew, don't say ew. Kale's delicious. You want to saute it though because of oxalates. You don't want to do it raw. Do we lose any of the nutrients we cook in vegetables? Yes. Okay. Veggies raw. Is that best? No. Is it best for some people? Yeah. Is it horrible for other people? Yeah. So if you have an issue you don't know about, like SIBO, like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, like if you have poor gut bacteria and you start eating raw vegetables, you're in big trouble. Big trouble. They're gonna ferment, you can't digest them, you're gonna have a real serious situation on your hands. So you want to cook them, and the best way to do it is a steam basket. Don't steam them in the water will get those micronutrients, right? So you wanna steam them above the water. So steaming is the best method for vegetables. What I do is I steam them, and then for like 15 seconds, I throw them in a hot skillet and spin them around just because I like to make them a little bit crispier without killing the nutrient density. But that's the thing, I've talked about this in other AMAs. All your nutrition facts, all your supplement facts, as soon as you cook food, they swing plus or minus 20%, right? Just unfortunately, it's the best we got, okay? It's very, very difficult to track these things. There's even crazy stuff like lettuce. You start breaking up lettuce, and the lettuce thinks you're attacking it and spits out more phytonutrients, and you get more nutrients from lettuce that you rip open, because these plants are basically conscious. I haven't talked to you guys about my plant journeys, but we'll talk about that someday, but plants are ridiculous. Nutritional yeast, I don't see a huge reason for it. I don't. And again, it depends. So this is really tough. Sometimes I get hit with these questions and they can't be blanket, right? Again, if you have an imbalance in your gut microbiome, nutritional yeast is gonna be terrible for you. It's gonna be awful, right? So I really can't answer that. I'd have to know more about you, or a biome test or a SIBO test or something like that. I know it's in the PPP, but is there benefit to, I'm not sure what you're talking about. There's a lot of things in PPP, so I'm not sure which exactly you're talking about, what micronutrient you're talking about. But yeah, it's really hard to get too much. Like I said, like the vitamin D, if you talk about PDI, you're talking 66 times. And the PDI is 1,000 IU. I take at least 5,000 IU of vitamin D a day. So it's like, it's really, really, really hard to overdose on these things. L-glutamine? No, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, I guess you could supplement too. Like, I'm comfortable with you doing up to 20 grams a day if you want to. There's 3.5 grams depending, 3 grams or 3.5 grams depending on what Perfect Paleo Powder you're taking. And I've taken as much as 80 grams of L-glutamine in a day, and I've been fine. So I'm really not worried about these overdosing things, okay? All right, let's jump back in. So failing at this actually takes a lot of effort. That's kind of what I want to title this next one. So we're going to talk about your kids. Right? So in 2018, with the rise of soil depletion and these terrible farming practices, came supply and demand. There was a need that needed to be met, and that is micronutrient deficiency. That's why the supplement industry exploded. The supplement industry is over a $24 billion a year industry, okay? And I'm involved in it. I know a boatload about it. Trust me, I put a post on this in the Clovis Academy about how terrible most protein powders are, and finally, there's a clear labeling company that's going out and exposing these things, these big giant Vega protein companies that tell you they're awesome, and they have all sorts of chemicals and toxins in their shit. It's ridiculous. Guys, it makes me so mad. Like, I would love to be in a room with the founders of these companies so I can just slap them in the mouth. Probably shouldn't have said that because it's live. I'm not threatening anyone. I promise. Don't worry. I'm not going to do anything. It's just frustrating that you promote your stuff as healthy and it's not healthy, right? It pisses me off, okay? Because I don't run my company that way. It makes me very, very upset. Okay, so experts like functional medicine doctors have been all over the supplement game for years and years and years, right? For the mainstream medical community won't follow suit. There's no money to be made, right? These pharmaceutical companies, you're battling everyone. The supplement industry is unregulated, so it's very hard to enter into. That's what I'm finding as we discover new products with Clovis. It's really, really tricky, right? The functional medicine community has been all over it. Now, the truth is, you can honestly stop telling your kids to eat their vegetables, and they'll be just fine. Because it's 2018. They'll be fine if you take 3 steps, and there'll probably be a lot less fighting in your household, and this transition won't be so difficult. I've told the story before about Josh's little dude just eating eggs and Zevia and turkey for like every single meal. Totally cool with that, okay? So the first thing we have to do, step 1, you need to make your house a food pyramid-free zone. This is non-negotiable, okay? And people get a little crazy on me in the Clovis Academy and in Clovis Kids when I say, this isn't an ease into thing. You need to wipe out your house of the poison, okay? This is cold freaking turkey. Your kids might put up the worst fight you've ever seen. They might lock themselves in their room and not eat for 3 days. Guess what? They'll live and eventually they'll eat. Sorry if that sounds harsh. I used to feel bad about saying that, but I don't, because now we all know that everyone's talking about the benefits of fasting. Fasting is wonderful for you. When your little kids don't eat, they're actually increasing their natural stem cell production, and they're going to live longer. They're flushing out precancerous cells. It doesn't matter if they don't eat, okay? Of course, they'll eat eventually. Again, watch the documentary, The Magic Pill. They do a great job of documenting this, of kids just literally refusing to eat for days. Then all of a sudden, you can't feed them enough. They're eating all the healthy food you can put in front of them. It will eventually shift, but you have to make it a no food pyramid zone, okay, for that to work. And let me tell you why I'm so adamant about this, right? So if you study the blue zones, there are basically 5 blue zones that are cited. And these are the areas of the globe that have the highest population of centenarians. Centenarians are people who live to be over 100 years old. The blue zones have the highest populations of these centenarians, people that live to be over 100. So what do they have in common? If we break down the macronutrient ratios, nothing. They have nothing in common, okay? So you might have like the Kitavans, right? The Kitavans diet might be 70% carbs. Then you have, Okinawans. Their diet might be anywhere from 40 to 60% carbs, including simple carbohydrates like white rice, okay? Then you might have in Greece, right? You have Greek people. They're a Mediterranean diet that includes beans, includes grains, includes dairy, right? So think about this. These are all non-Clovis principles, right? So I want to explain to you why that's happening. The one common denominator is there's not a frickin' box of Apple Jacks in sight, right? Okay, so the reason why the Clovis protocol is the Clovis protocol is because 99.999% of you that I'm dealing with are Americans. We're talking about the American food supply, right? I told you, when I go to Iceland, when I go visit friends in Norway, I eat bread, I drink a microbrewed beer from a local brewery, right? And I'm fine, it's different. If I was in Nepal, you bet your ass I'd be eating wild apples with 47,500% more phytonutrients than my apples here in the States, right? So that's the thing, guys, is I have to tailor this to where you are, right? So there'd be European people that see the Clovis list and they go, I can't do that. I eat pasta and dairy every single day, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good for you. It's a different source of foods. The supply chain is so bad that I have to do this. So the one common denominator is nutrient density. These are whole, unprocessed foods, okay? Sorry, this marker's dying on me. But these are whole, unprocessed foods. They're not eating white sugars, white flours, grains, the base of our food pyramid, right? That's not their entire freaking diet, and they're not getting it sourced from monocropping feedlots, the worst junk you can think of, right? So basically, what I'm telling you is that human beings are so durable that they can thrive as centenarians on a vast array of diets except for one. Except for the freaking American diet, the standard American diet, the SAD diet. This is the only diet in this whole great human being experiment we have. It's the only diet proven to kill people. It's the only diet proven to kill people. Let me show you this. I need to write this for you. And like I said, I drank way too much coffee, my heart rate's through the roof, and Fighter Justin is on full alert right now because there's one diet in the entire world that will kill you. That's the food pyramid. Why am I pissed right now? Because it's the one diet on planet Earth that will kill you. And it's the one diet that every single public school system is preaching to our children. I could literally cry reading that. Like, if you want to see me get in a fight in public, this is what we're dealing with. Okay? It's genocide. This is why I do what I do. This is why I'm here, because I'm so pissed, and it's illegal to beat people up. Okay? This is why we're here. The one diet that kills people is a skull, crossbones. The one diet is the freaking food pyramid, and we teach it to our children. Right? You guys getting worked up about this yet? Literally. One diet on planet Earth. I'm just going to keep repeating this. There's one diet on planet Earth. We study the entire globe, all the centenarians. Human beings thrive on these nutrient-dense, whole food, unprocessed diets, except for one, the food pyramid, which is proven to kill people. We are the sickest country on the entire planet, and we preach this to our kids every single day. So if you're a parent, and you're in Clovis Kids, and you haven't jumped all the way in, you haven't dove in, you haven't cleared the house of poison, I'm going to try my best to just send you all my love and try to make this as easy as I can and answer all your questions and get you to convert your house to a food pyramid free zone. Please. I'm asking on behalf of your kids for you to do this. Let them cry and throw tantrums for a couple of days. okay? Switch them to the Clovis Kids Approved Foods list. If you're not in Clovis Kids, get into Clovis Kids. If you don't have custom macros, get custom macros, because this is how important this is. Custom supplement recommendations, okay? Custom supplement recommendations, custom macronutrients, custom everything you need to live a long, healthy, optimal life, okay? So it should make more sense to you now. I'm gonna move on, because I'm getting worked up over here. It should make more sense to you now why I limit things like dairy, grains, legumes, all these things, because in America, it's simply not the same. There's one AMA where I talked about dairy. We have A1 casein here in the States. In Europe, they have A2 casein. Lactose intolerant people can go to Europe and drink milk and not have an issue. It's different. You have to worry about the sourcing. Where is all this food coming from, okay? The reason why dairy, legumes, and all these things that might be included in a blue zone, like in Greece, are not on our Clovis protocol is because in America, I simply can't recommend them with a good conscience. I just can't do it, okay? So that's step one. Remove the food pyramid from your home, okay? Remove the food pyramid. Step number two is stop telling them to eat their vegetables, like we talked about, unless they want to. Now what I mean by this is if it's a fight every day, stop the fight, right? Unless they want to. So let me walk you through this. Two of the most nutrient-dense food, actually the top two nutrient-dense foods per gram on planet Earth is one, organ meats, 2 per gram, and again, you can research the Ayurvedic diet or Ayurvedic medicine, all these things, right, which I've been deep in that stuff and I'm loving it, right? So herbs and spices. We're talking about turmeric, cumin, fennel, cloves, oregano, black pepper, cinnamon, all these things, right? These are herbs and spices. Gram for gram, when we talk about phytonutrients, which I told you, phytonutrients are also classified as micronutrients. These are the most nutrient dense per gram, herbs and spices. These are also called nature's pharmaceuticals for a reason, right? So you have organ meats, you have herbs and spices, then you have meats. The meats that are already on the approved foods list, right? So we're talking grass-fed beef. We're talking wild-caught fish, okay? Grass-fed beef and wild-caught fish. This is fantastic. And if you look at these two right here, we're talking fat and protein for nutrient density, right? These foods are calorically dense. They're also nutrient dense. They make a lot of sense. Now, you have an added bonus here with herbs and spices, is they make things delicious. Now, I've been talking about this for a long time with you parents, and I hope you take me seriously on this. Buy a whole bunch of herbs and spices. Look up Ayurvedic herbs and spices, buy a boatload of them, sit your kid down with scrambled eggs and grass-fed beef and wild-caught fish and turkey and nuts and vegetables and whatever you want, right? And just hand them the spices. Start pouring it on stuff and taking bites, right? This is a fun little experiment. It's gonna cost you some money. They're gonna spit some stuff out. They're gonna waste a ton of food. You're making it their choice. Make it their choice what they put in their mouths. Give them an option, right? Don't say because I said so. Work through this with them. Let them know that you're just learning about this now, right? That's the great thing. If you use a boatload of herbs and spices to up their phytonutrient intake through the roof, and you're covering fat and protein with those herbs and spices to make them delicious, I literally don't care if all your kid is eating is fat and protein. If their entire diet is fat, protein, herbs, and spices, fantastic. Keep going. I'm all for it, okay? It's 1,000 times better than the food pyramid. And if any dumbass teacher tells you, no, I gave the kid some goldfish because you only sent them to school with avocados and macadamia nuts, and that's child abuse. Good Lord. Good Lord, man. It's just, I'm afraid of being a parent for reasons like that, okay? It's just insane. So think about that. If all fat, make the fat and protein delicious. So that's all they want to eat, right? That's an added bonus of these herbs and spices. So, of course, all the while this is happening, right, you're making vegetables for yourself. You're cooking Brussels sprouts in coconut oil with bacon bits, right? You're taking sweet potatoes, cubing them up, frying them in a skillet with avocado oil or coconut oil or grass-fed butter. You're putting salt and pepper, herbs, and spices on them. You're making sweet potato fries. Again, one of the most nutrient-dense foods on planet Earth, sweet potatoes, right? So you're still making these vegetables. They smell delicious. All of a sudden, Junior's plate looks different than Mommy's plate. So you got him eating fat and protein, herbs, and spices. You got him through the detox that he's going to go through, the sugar fits, right? You get him through the detox. Now your house is a clean zone. He knows he has to eat healthy food, or she has to eat healthy food, or they're not going to get any food. So now they're eating healthy foods, right? And now they're seeing your Brussels sprouts, they're seeing your sweet potatoes. Their taste buds are changing, they don't know that. Within 30 days, their taste buds change and sugar doesn't taste well anymore, right? It doesn't taste as good. So, now, Mommy, I want some of that broccoli. Mommy, I want some of that Brussels sprouts. Mommy, I want a sweet potato fried, that looks good, right? Take this in stages, guys. You got time, you got all the freaking time in the world, right? You just need to remove the food pyramid. Step number 1, this is most important. If you do nothing else, you're still gonna see an improvement, okay? So remove the food pyramid, fat, protein, herbs, and spices. Make the herbs and spices delicious. And, all right, what do you do with a 10-year-old vegetarian? Who put that in her head? Where on earth did she get that from? Eggs. Talk to her about eggs, okay? Talk to her about eggs and sit her down and explain to her that eggs are not baby chickens, okay? This is something that kids run into all the time. Eggs are not baby chickens. If you don't eat an egg, a raccoon's gonna come along and eat an egg. It's gonna go to waste, it's gonna sit out in nature, it's gonna rot, right? Eggs, that's what I would do. Eggs, and if your kid absolutely will not eat animal protein, they just refuse to eat animal protein, get something like grass-fed cheese or raw milk. Try to get raw milk, okay? Or go out and get A2, go to a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's and get A2 milk and get them some dairy in their system. I hate to do that, but they need animal protein. They need animal proteins and they need animal fats. They absolutely need it, right? Okay, so step 2, and that's one aspect of this. We can talk about step 3 on this. And this will help you, Jenny, with what you just said. Step 3 is get them on a solid multivitamin, okay? Multivitamin. Step 1, remove the food pyramid. 2, cover fat and proteins in delicious herbs and spices and let them experiment themselves. Make it their choice, right? 3, multivitamin. Get them on a solid multivitamin, okay? And again, within Clovis Kids, I give you supplement recommendations. When you buy custom macros from me, I give you a custom plan with custom macronutrients, custom improved foods list, custom supplement recommendations, custom fitness recommendations. We're gonna talk about in a second because we're about to launch something. We're getting close, it's getting late now, and we're about to launch something for you guys, okay? So, she will eat eggs. That's great. Jenny, if she'll eat eggs, give her a dozen eggs a day. I don't care, can't overdo it. Give her a dozen eggs a day. Literally doesn't matter. Collagen, protein, yeah. Oh, Jenny Cancino's asking about the vegetarian. Jenny Carlson's asking about collagen. Jenny's everywhere. Okay, yeah, collagen. Pick up grass-fed pasture-raised beef collagen peptides, and I can help you find that. Perfect Paleo Powder is also the #1 ingredient is beef collagen peptides, pasture-raised beef collagen peptides. So you can give her like hot chocolate in terms of paleo powder, and she'll drink that. It's delicious. Like a lot of people in Clovis Kids and Clovis Academy talk about this. They give hot chocolate like it's a treat. These kids drink it. They don't know they're getting 15 grams of beef collagen protein. Okay, 15 grams. If you give them the post-workout, they're getting 24 grams of beef collagen. It's fantastic. So there's a lot of tricks to this. So she'll eat eggs. That's awesome. Give her a dozen eggs a day, right? So Jennifer Cancino, that's awesome to see you in here. I don't know if I've seen you before. I thought you were Jenny Carlson, and me and Jenny are old buddies. Okay, what else we got here? So, the thing is, with the multivitamin, don't be afraid to significantly up the dosage. Like I told you, right? Like those PDI versus ODA versus RDA, right? It's 33x, 66x, 100x. I take them up over 100x for my personal micronutrient intake, right? Don't be afraid of these things, okay? And again, I'll give you all the supplement recommendations at Clovis Kids. So the thing is, if you can't afford to buy organic, locally sourced produce, fruits and vegetables, these kinds of things, if you can't get that, don't worry about the vegetables. It's not the end of the world, right? It's really not the end of the world because they don't even have the nutrient density that you think they do. So ask the question, why do we make kids eat vegetables? Why? We don't really know. Now you know. Now you've got a master class on micronutrients. Go back and watch this 10 times with your notebook, okay? So let's look at some comments here. Yeah, collagen, great trick. Eggs, awesome. What else we got? She's seen livestock being butchered. Yeah, that's tough. I've butchered some animals myself in my day, and it gets pretty wretched sometimes, but it's also kind of awesome. Okay, let's take some questions right now because then I want to tell you guys about something very important. So I'm gonna look for a couple questions here. If you have questions, just start thinking, mulling them over in your head. Because I'm going to tell you guys we're launching something within Clovis that is amazing that I'm super excited about, okay? So I'm going to jump into that while you guys start hitting your, Crystal, you can hide protein in everything. That's so true. The collagen protein, you can dissolve collagen protein in water. Have your kid drink water. It's unflavored. It's fantastic, right? Tons of tricks, okay? So let's talk about tonight. We've already gone over an hour. I've been taking these things way long, right? So tonight I want to introduce you to something. Now, if you're a member of Clovis Kids, you guys are going to understand what's happening right now. Clovis Kids is a members-only portal. You have your own website, cloviskids.com, exclusive video content, you have my reading list, all these things, right? There's videos I make in there that don't exist anywhere else. You get to see a bunch of Justin videos that nobody else gets to see. That's within Clovis Kids, okay? That's a membership-only platform, okay? What we're launching tonight is something very special. You can get custom supplement recommendations for sure. And that is this. I am Clovis. IamClovis.com. We've done it, ladies and gentlemen. It's fantastic. It's a membership-only portal, and I want all of you to understand, before any of you freak out, start leaving comments, right? If you have paid me for custom macronutrients in the past, congratulations, you're a member of IamClovis.com. We've been waiting to surprise this with you. To surprise you with this. We've been filming videos, we've been coming up with content, we've been building a new website with a particular login. You get your own login to access this portal. There's a whole new Facebook group. That's right, it's a membership platform, okay? So you get this access to the site and exclusive content. You have a private Facebook group. There's an I Am Clovis private Facebook group. This is where I want you to understand why we're doing I Am Clovis, okay? So with I Am Clovis, with these AMAs, the Clovis Academy, not everybody's engaged in the Academy. There's 750-something people. There's the dedicated users in the Academy. I love you guys to death. You're my favorite people in the world. You're on there every day. It's incredible. I love it. I do manifestos there, right? I do my morning manifestos on the Facebook Live, right? So we wanted to give you I Am Clovis. What this is yours. This is yours. And I want you to understand what I mean by that. All of the content that we put in I Am Clovis is dictated by you. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna get, if you've paid for custom macros, you're gonna get added to IamClovis.com. You're gonna get added to the I Am Clovis Facebook group first. Then you're gonna see a pinned post from the wizard himself, Mr. Josh Haley. You're gonna see a pinned post that shows you a link to go over to IamClovis.com and create your username and password, okay? So you're gonna see all of this within the private I Am Clovis group. Then you're gonna log in and you're gonna see videos by yours truly. Me telling you exactly what the group is, what it's about. You're gonna see all the different modules. So we have modules of lessons. We're talking macronutrients, micronutrients, deep dives on fat burning versus sugar burning. We're talking about what are my favorite books, right? I'm a certified nutritional therapist. I'm a specialist in sports nutrition. I learned about RDA, ODA, and PDI as a specialist in sports nutrition. I want to take the tools that I have and give them to you. I want to give you the same tools, my favorite articles, my favorite websites, my favorite blogs, my favorite podcasts, my favorite books. How did all this stuff that I'm teaching you get in this brain? I'm going to show you. You have a downloadable approved foods list. It's there all the time. You can ask me questions at any moment. We have an entire section just for asking me questions. That's it. If you guys want more video content, tell me. If you want me to bring other experts in, tell me. If you want to learn more about childhood nutrition, tell me. I'm going to tailor this content to you. This is your freaking Clovis playground, okay? And we've been building this out for a long, long time, okay? IamClovis.com. I'm going to give you access to that, okay? Shannon, depends. We're going to talk about that because a lot of you signed up for Clovis Kids when it came with custom macros. So if that's the case, if you bought on that deal, you're going to get pumped in. So right into I Am Clovis, don't worry. We're going to handle all this in the back end. You guys, also, I'm going to ask you, because Academy, I love you. Got to be patient here, okay? Because I know that I'm going to log off this live and I'm going to have 99 emails that say, I'm not in I Am Clovis yet. What's happening? Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Did you miss me? We didn't miss you, I promise. Me, the wizard, Anna, we're hard at work on this. You're going to get added. I know that you're going to email me, you're going to Instagram me, you're going to Facebook me, you're going to text me if you have my number. I know that's going to happen, okay? I'm used to this, and that's totally cool. I love it. I love you guys. I love how supportive and how passionate you are about this. So IamClovis.com. This is going to give you access to the site, the Facebook group. Tonight, what do we talk about? Micronutrients, right? It's going to get you access to custom supplement recommendations also is going to get you access to exclusive deals. Sometimes we're going to have exclusive deals. Some of you just partook in an Amazon deal. It's already passed. Don't get excited. We already did it. Some of you just partook in an Amazon deal, right? So we're going to run these deals. That was run as part of the Clovis Academy. We're probably going to push a lot of deals to I Am Clovis that are exclusive to I Am Clovis, right? You get custom supplement recommendations. You get custom fitness recommendations, right? And again, like I said, all this stuff, we can go on and on and on about it. You keep asking me to make content, I'm gonna make content, but I wanna make the content that you want. This is for you, you guys, okay? Is the Facebook site gonna be obsolete? No, absolutely not. Because remember, the Facebook group is still a public yet private group, okay? So remember, if you're active on the Clovis Academy, please try to be active on both. If that means that you post something in I Am Clovis group, then just copy and paste that post over to the Academy. Why? Because we're trying to share this with people, right? People come into the Facebook Academy, the Clovis Academy, they learn about the AMAs, they watch an AMA. I tell them that lack of micronutrients is killing them and their kids, and they go, oh snap, I gotta step up my game and join Clovis Kids, right? And then we get to help some kids, or we get to help some more adults. So the Facebook group, Clovis Academy, is not going anywhere, and it's not going to be obsolete as long as you guys don't let it be obsolete. And even if a few of you bounce over to I Am Clovis, we're still going to have new people coming in all the time. So people watch this AMA, they're not ready to dive in, then go to facebook.com/group/Clovis Academy, get in there. I'm still going to do morning manifestos in the Clovis Academy. Don't worry. I'm still going to do all these things. I'm still going to be active. I'm going to respond. I'm going to comment. The wizard will be in there. Anna will be in there. No, it's absolutely not obsolete. Okay, how do you get in? Christine, very good question. You guys know at this point how the custom hashtags work. So we're gonna do this with hashtags, okay? So just like you guys may have seen before, this is the Buy Custom Macros hashtag. That's gonna get you access to I Am Clovis. So going forward, I want you guys to understand that this hashtag, Buy Custom Macros, all you have to do is leave that as a comment. Comment on this video right now, hashtag Buy Custom Macros. Boom, you're in IamClovis.com. And guess what? We have video content waiting for you. Already there, already waiting. We've been building this thing out. I'm ridiculously proud of it. I'm ridiculously overworked. Josh, the wizard, is my hero. He's ridiculously overworked. Anna is ridiculously overworked. We're working on ebooks. We're working on videos. So much content. It is ridiculous. And the content is going to be never ending. Whatever you ask us for, you're going to get in IamClovis.com, okay? I Am Clovis. So tag new friends in Clovis Academy and graduate. Donna, hashtag yes. That one doesn't do anything, but that's cool. I love the sentiment. What about OG Clovis members who don't necessarily need custom macros but want in? Yes, okay. This, no matter what, this is going to be a membership platform. So there are over 315 of you that I did your entire custom plans for free. Remember that. Wink, wink, right? If your life has changed, it's because I worked for you for free for a long time. Okay? So, yeah, I Am Clovis is going to be a paid platform no matter what. So, and obviously when you buy in, if you, let's say you've been doing my protocol for 6 months, you buy in, you get new custom macronutrients. We'll talk about your current age, height, weight, your current goals, what you're dealing with, what your obstacles are. We'll go with supplement recommendations, we'll go with fitness recommendations, we'll update everything to get you exactly where you need to be. Oh yeah, sorry, I probably should have said that. So, this entire program, Buy Custom Macros, right? Access to I Am Clovis, still $97, okay? 97. I hope you can see that. 97 bucks. Hashtag Buy Custom Macros. You can get your custom macronutrients. You're gonna get the downloadable approved foods list, access to the site with exclusive content, access to the new Facebook group, your supplement recommendations, your fitness recommendations, asking me questions directly, okay? This exclusive content thing is really, really gonna be crazy. A lot of the videos we've done, I mean, we've already done a tremendous amount of videos. We talk about your first 30 days, your detox, what the detox looks like, how you get over the detox, what is fat, what is protein, what is carbohydrates, how do you become a fat burner instead of a sugar burner, what are micronutrients, what are water-soluble vitamins, what are fat-soluble vitamins. We've done a deep dive on these things all already. So when I'm like off in outer space, you can't find me, and we're working, we're hustling, we're making content, we're making ebooks, okay? We're building out ebooks, we're building out Clovis Kids manifestos. There's a lot of content coming to Clovis Kids too. There's gonna be a lot of content coming to the Clovis Academy too. Guys, I'm gonna follow you as much content as I can everywhere. That's what I'm trying to do. But we gotta keep the lights on, okay? There are some changes in my personal life. I don't think I'm gonna announce that yet, but yeah, in terms of profession, there's gonna be some changes happening, okay? So, let me know what you guys think, okay? Any updates on shirts? Yes, update, the designs are in, they're submitted, they're ordered, shirts should be around the corner. I don't want to give you an ETA because I don't want to freak you out, but the entire process is spinning and the wheels are spinning and shipping will happen, everything good, because I know better t-shirts. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And guys, remember, all these hashtags and everything, you can hashtag on any video you want, right? So if you hashtag a week from now, but anytime you have hashtag buy custom macros on any video, our tech picks it up. You can go watch a different video today and hashtag buy custom macros, we'll see it, and boom, you get access to I Am Clovis. So anytime you comment with hashtag buy custom macros, you're in IamClovis.com. That's the way this is gonna work, okay? So at any time, that's it. So that's a bit about I Am Clovis. I'm gonna leave this here and let's just hang out for a couple minutes, guys. I wanna talk to you about, we talked about why we eat vegetables, what micronutrients are, how important they are, Nature's Pharmaceuticals. Nature Pharmaceuticals, y'all. That was a shout out to Anna and Josh. Nature's Pharmaceuticals, y'all. I'm from Rhode Island and I say y'all now from spending every day with these guys. Okay, so why we eat vegetables, micronutrients. We talked about how to get micronutrients in 2018. Talked a little bit about supplementation, the paleo powder. We talked about I Am Clovis. We talked about how to work this through with your kids, those 3 steps, those 3 very, very important steps. Ditch the food pyramid, sprinkle herbs and spices all over those nutrient-dense fats and proteins. And then number 3, get them on a solid multivitamin. You can get them in liquid form, you can get them in capsule form, you can get them in dissolvable tablet form, you can get them in gummy form, whatever you need to do. Load your kids up on it. Save on your grocery bill with those vegetables, okay? So let's talk about some comments. What do we got? Thank you, Stacy. That's awesome. Cambria, I'm pretty sure you're in because I ran custom macros for you. So I think you're in. Yeah, pretty sure you're in. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Tammy. You guys, this is so awesome. It's really, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it because those of you who have been with me from the beginning, you know, like Krista said, like the OGs of the Academy. I mean, think about what you guys have seen, right? What we've put into this. This is now my life's work, and that's not going to change. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. It's going to keep getting bigger. It's going to keep getting better. I'm talking about bringing in other people, some experts, some stuff I don't want to tell you about yet. I am constantly working, okay? This is a 24/7, 7-day-a-week thing. I mean, I take out my laptop and I work when I'm in Mexico, okay? This is my life now, and it's for you guys. So these things help us keep the lights on. That's all there is to it. I hate to sit here like a beggar, but this is what keeps the lights on, okay? Hashtag buy custom macros. Support your local Clovis chapter. Let's make chapters. That'd be awesome. Moms for Clovis. You guys can all start your own chapters. Okay. Try to use the Amazon codes now. It's not working. Had been sent to me earlier today. Okay, I'll have to look into that. Can you repeat what you said about those of us who bought Clovis Kids? Okay, so if you bought Clovis Kids, we ran a special deal when we did Clovis Kids. That was, and we know the dates on this. We know when you guys purchased, right? So we ran a special deal on an AMA that was access to Clovis Kids, a bag of Digest and Rest for your kids. Remember, we ran that deal, and that included macros for up to 2 parents, okay? So those were custom macros for up to 2 adults in the household. Not necessarily parents, just adults in the household, caretakers, right? We're gonna do it for up to 2 adults. If you bought during that sale, you're gonna get access to I Am Clovis because you technically bought custom macros. If you have ever bought custom macros from me in any way, we're gonna throw you right into that IamClovis.com. Okay, Lindsay, so we'll be in touch. If you have any questions, you can email or hit up Josh on Facebook, Josh Haley. He's the man, and he loves when I tell people to reach out to him. It's awesome. Also, Tammy, yeah, the Amazon thing. So just so you guys know, that Amazon deal we ran, I don't run the Amazon store. I know, it sounds weird, right? It's the only aspect of Clovis that I don't run. So anytime I get a question like that for customer service for Amazon, I'm gonna have to run that through the company that runs it. Yes, Erica, you got a random email. Okay, so what happened, I get spreadsheets on people who need custom macros for everybody who's bought from me, right? If they need custom macros, I get it on a spreadsheet. So what happened is the spreadsheets got a little bit mixed up because of this deal that I just talked about. If you buy into Clovis Kids, you get custom macros. So I was going behind these people who were behind their custom macros that said they needed custom macros that I reach out to. And they go, what are you talking about? I didn't buy custom macros. Some people didn't even realize that they got custom macros for themselves as a bonus with Clovis Kids. Or I'd rather over communicate than under communicate. So if I've already ran your macros and I send you a message saying, hey, did we run your macros? Remember, I have over 300 of you. okay? So you guys have to understand that. There's actively over 300 people that I work with. So, and I work with a ton of people who are not part of Clovis. They're not part of the academy. They don't watch the videos. They're personal people that I know. They have my cell phone number. They're family members. I work with a lot of family members, right? There's over 300 people that I'm doing this for. So sometimes I might reach out and ask you a question I already asked you, because it's not possible for me to remember everything I've done like off the top of my head, which is also why we're trying to pull it out of the email platform and move into this. So I can give you better care, right? You guys can ask questions directly. We're gonna have frequently asked questions. You can ask questions nonstop, ask as many questions as you want. We're gonna do the deep dive so you can learn about things, right? We're gonna have lists of supplements, all these things within I Am Clovis. We're gonna make this so that I get a little bit less mixed up. Because to tell you guys the truth, I had no idea Clovis was gonna grow this way. I just did it. I recorded an AMA called Fruit Will Kill You Faster Than Red Meat at my kitchen table with my Jack Daniels barrel behind me, and here we are. I mean, it's awesome. It's a lot of work. It's really cool. I love it to death. I didn't really know it was gonna happen. So I'm still trying to figure out these systems, you know, and email can get real tricky, right? Email can get tricky, and then some things happen with where a lot of you will, every time you have a new question, you'll start a new email thread. So sometimes I have you guys that I'm dealing with, and I have 7 different email threads from you, and you're like, oh, you already have, I sent you my age, height, and weight. And I'm like, yeah, but now I gotta go search your email address, and I have to look at every single thread you ever sent me, and I gotta shuffle through every single email and every single thread, and I gotta find the one that has your age, height, and weight plugged in. You see what I'm saying? It's very tricky, guys. When you have 300 plus people doing this, it gets real tricky, real quick. Kathy, hey, welcome. You're late. Go back and watch this. This is a good one. All right, what else we got? Anybody have any questions? Yay, Crystal, I know this is awesome. What other questions do we have? You guys have any questions about micronutrients, vegetables, fruits? Somebody comment, tell me fruit's a health food. Let's go down that road. All right, what else we got? We told you all about I Am Clovis, told you all about veggies, micronutrients, all the stuff you're gonna get. This is your custom website. We will tailor the content to you, your questions, your comments, all those things, okay? Handle all the questions we have here. So I'm gonna hang out for a minute. I'm going to see if you guys have any other questions. If you have any questions, ask them now. If you're already a member of I Am Clovis because you bought custom macros, you can ask questions whenever you want. And I'll make videos. It's going to be fantastic, okay? So this is Ask Me Anything, number 20. Stop telling kids to eat vegetables. We got a question. What do you think about mineral electrolyte supplement drops? Okay, again, this is like any other thing. If you say, what do you think about protein supplements, right? Vega protein, shit. Whey protein, shit, right? Electrolytes, there's tablets. Really funny story, guys. Josh came in today with these electrolyte tablets, these flavored electrolyte tablets, right? You put them in water and dissolve them. Not the wizard. The wizard puts it in his mouth. He lets this freaking electrolyte tablet dissolve in his mouth, and I'm watching his face. He's making these faces, he's going, I think I should put this in water. Take it out, I think I should have put this in water. He ate an electrolyte tablet, it was hilarious, right? So the thing is, if you look at electrolyte tablets, okay, Crystal, that's cool. You can put them in your water, that's awesome. But you need to remember, look at the labels, okay? A lot of these electrolyte tablets are loaded with sugar. There's one called like a hydration therapy. It's like a liquid shot or a dissolve or whatever. It's got a ton of sugar in it, ton of sugar. Some of them have maltodextrin, some of them have dextrins, dextrose, some of them have sucralose, and some of them have 200 milligrams of sodium. Like I tell you, like a quarter teaspoon of Redmond's real salt has 530 milligrams of sodium. A quarter teaspoon, 530. You might have an electrolyte tablet that has 200 milligrams, you know? So that's the thing. You can use these electrolyte tablets. They're great for kids, right? And if you have one with clean ingredients, keep putting them in your kids' water. Just do it a couple times a day. I know it gets a little more expensive, but do it a couple times a day. Like we talked about, RDA, ODA, PDI, right? Performance daily intake. Your kids are pretty active. I would either put them somewhere between the ODA, I would put them around the ODA probably for a kid, right? But you need to just understand that it's very hard to overdo these things, especially water-soluble vitamins. You can't overdose. You'll get diarrhea. I mean, I could give you an IV of 20 plus grams of vitamin C and you'll be just fine. But if you eat 10 grams of vitamin C, you know, through your digestive system in capsule form or something, you're gonna get diarrhea for sure. But it's no harm, no foul. That's what a lot of people do. When a lot of people are sick, they'll load up on vitamin C until they get diarrhea. Then the next day, they'll take it back from that dose and use just a little bit less, okay? Because that's what the body needs. You'll be surprised. You might eat 3 grams of vitamin C and get diarrhea, then you get the flu, and you might eat 10 grams of vitamin C, no diarrhea. Your body just needs it, it absorbs it, right? It's really crazy. Your need for micronutrient levels change. So by the way, a few years ago when I got my first micronutrient blood test, like years and years and years back when I first started this journey. I got a micronutrient blood test and was all bummed out because I was deficient on chromium and vitamin B5. I was deficient on pantothenic acid, right? So I was deficient on those two things, and I was all pissed because I had 2 deficiencies, right? The lady looked at me and she was like, "You're the first patient I've ever had who had less than 12 deficiencies. Less than 12 deficiencies. There's 13 essential vitamins and minerals, right?" She's like, 12 is like the average for deficiencies. It's insane, guys. It's really, really crazy. Okay, so electrolyte tablets, that answers that. Fruit is fruit. No! One of my favorite AMAs. Cool, Laura, that's awesome. Blueberries. Again, that's a blanket statement. Guys, you gotta know, I'm always gonna call you out when you make these blanket statements, right? If you go to the grocery store and buy the cheapest thing of blueberries you can find, don't put them in your mouth, okay? If blueberries are not in season where you live, don't put them in your mouth. If you can't get them organic and locally sourced, don't put them in your mouth. Guess what, guys? I have organic blueberries in my freezer. They're in there. I almost never touch them, but they're in there, okay? So it depends on what you're trying to do. And sometimes I experiment with things just for fun. Like right now, I'm adding carbohydrates to my diet, and I'm doing 16-hour intermittent fast. I'm experimenting to see how my body composition changes, right? It's almost like, immersive journalism, let's call it. I like to tell you guys things that I've done, okay? So what I do is I experiment with things, right? I currently have plantains at my house. I'm messing with some plantains. I'm messing with these superfood smoothies to increase micronutrient intake, like I said, because I'm trying to take down those 50 pills a day. Again, don't do the thing I'm telling you to do right now, right? I got this, guys. I figured this stuff out, okay? So I'm tweaking things constantly. I'm trying new things always. Yeah, I know, Tabitha. I know you're messing with me. I get it. I asked you to. Eden Ionic Mineral Drops. Cool. I'll check them out. That's awesome. Keep using them. Yeah, that sounds great. That's a lot easier now for kids. Obviously, like for adults, suck it up. Take a sodium shot. But there's also, we talked about trace mineral complex. Like there's a brand that I like called Seeking Health that has a trace mineral complex. And that is just literally tons of trace minerals. It's got potassium, it's got magnesium, it's got sodium, it's got all these things in it, right? It's fantastic. Take 1 of those a day, take 2 of those a day, take 3 of those a day, whatever your budget will let you do, right? Trace Minerals Complex, that's by Seeking Health. That's a really great brand, okay? Now again, all these supplement recommendations, for every single thing that you can think of, I have a supplement recommendation for you. But this is all part of I Am Clovis, it's part of Clovis Kids, all these things, they're just in membership portals now. So awesome, but I do have a bag of organic blueberries in the freezer. I eat them eventually. That's awesome. You're on day 23 of 30. Awesome, cool. If you celebrate with a half cup of blueberries, that's your reward for day 31. Awesome, I love that. That's a fantastic story. Just don't go get Cheesecake Factory on day 31, okay? All right, guys. So this is AMA number 20. Stop telling your kids to eat vegetables. Go back and watch this one a few times. Watch it with your kids if they're old enough. Explain to them what micronutrients are and talk to them about vegetables and all these things. See what they like to eat, see what they don't like to eat. Sit down with an array of food, give them herbs and spices, let them play with their food. Let kids play with their food. Let kids prepare food with you. Let them cook with you. Let them steam broccoli with you, right? Do all these things, okay? It's fantastic. So, that is live, Ask Me Anything, number 20, hashtag buy custom macros. Share this with your friends, tag your friends, add them to the Clovis Academy. The more people in the Clovis Academy, the better. Just go to members, add the people you love, let them see the Facebook Live manifestos that I do in the mornings, and welcome to I Am Clovis. If you bought custom macros, welcome to I Am Clovis. I am super, super, super excited about this. Couldn't be more excited. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Kelsey. Tell your 4-year-old that I love her. Say, Mr. Justin loves you, okay? And thank you guys so much. Until next week, I'll see you tomorrow for a manifesto. This has been live. Ask Me Anything, number 20. Stop telling your kid to eat vegetables. Thank you, guys. I gotta hit the end button now. Actually, I'm gonna let you look at that deal just for a minute. Hang out. Thank you, guys.